Hi, today is the 31st of August, 2020, and I am going to read on Alexei Navalny. Now, he is one of the key opposition leaders of recent who has been poisoned by Putin. He's been a long-standing opposition to Putin dissident. There has also been another, but a younger man. Navalny's in his 40s. This young man is in his 22, I think, who has been beaten up pretty badly. If you look in the news, yet again, another young dissident has been beaten up. There is also another player to introduce here. There's a lot of people that we need to be aware of when we look at Putin now. I think, since he has been the one to really put us in this situation, we need to understand who this man is much better. Okay? So I want to look, this video is going to look at both Navalny and the woman who is going to be stepping in for him, because he's yet, from what I've read, yet in a coma and is improving but is very sick. Her name, and I'm learning how to pronounce some of these names, so forgive me if I don't pronounce her name correctly, is Lubov Sobol. And she is I think she's in her 30s. She will be stepping in for a while Alexei, is not able to carry out his tasks because of his health situation. So there's a lot going on over there, and the opposition to Putin is really kicking up. They are really very brave. So much happening, right? So today we're going to focus, or at least in this reading, on Alexei and Lubov. So we're going to look at these people. I should have probably done her video separately. But let's look at Alexei and see how we go. If he is going to get better and able to resume at some point his activism. He has been able to do something that many dissidents have not been able to do, which is to actually get the data and stuff to expose Putin's corruption. So he is really someone that Putin would love, as you can tell, to get rid of. He has put this man in prison numerous times, okay? I don't believe this is the first time that he has done something, although I think this is one of the most serious times as far as making this man incapacitatedly ill. He has sent him to prison, really harsh. And he was held deliberately by Russian officials under the guise of him having a quote-unquote metabolic disorder, which was bull, just so that once he was released to Berlin to go to their hospital, whatever he was given, the agent he was given, would be out of his system, or a good deal most likely would be. They feel that he was given some form of a agent that has like an insecticide toxin that affects your neuro system. So that means, your brain telling you to breathe, telling your heart to beat. Yeah, it's amazing the man is alive. and they don't know whether or not he'll fully recuperate. So I would like to look at Alexei. He is, I believe, a Gemini, early June birthday, I believe, but we can get to that later. Let's just take a look at him. Will he recover so he can resume his activism? I ask my guides, my ancestors, to help me read accurately and thoroughly. For right now, I'm just going to hit some very basic quick reads. Okay, well, the Three of Pentacles is about working with other people, where an effort where other people are involved. There's more than one person and there is clarity. This to me looks like some kind of effort to help him to heal and improve. But above all, what has been, I think, more important to him regarding than his health is to expose. So I believe this also is a flash to those who, like Lubov, there to support and continue the message, continue the work, while he is incapacitated, or if he should even remain such. So this shows to me a group of people that are working toward exposing, and I believe taking the support of the power away. Oh, here we go with Kitty Cat. Hello, Bear. With that Ace of Swords. So there's something, about making no bones about it to expose. That's why I feel like this is like an expose, an act to expose financial, especially connections. It's almost like, despite the fact that I'm trying to look at Navalny and his well-being, his health, I can get that there's a group of people involved in that, but I also feel like I keep being drawn to his message, which seems like this is what they want to convey. Spirit wants to convey that it will continue. Navalny himself, this shows the state that he's in with this Two of Swords. I'm not able to act, communicate, convey. Although I do feel that with this Two of Swords, his intelligence, there's an awareness within him very deep. Bear, stop that. Sorry, she is playing up. I tell you, turn on the camera and instant problems. There's also a Queen of Swords here. Now, Bear, would you like to come say hello to everyone? Now this, oh, she is just wound up, you guys. There's a Queen of Swords here. Now, I know that, and forgive me if I'm not saying her name right, Lubov, I know that she is a Virgo. But this doesn't necessarily mean it isn't her, because it's an air, represents an air sign. It could just be, don't you dare get up there. Oh, she's doing every naughty thing since I turned on the camera. I feel like this could be actually more of an aspect of Navalny. Although it could be her continuing to support him, I feel like this is him. His awareness, his subconscious is alert and aware, has awareness. I don't mean to bounce all over, but the cat's kind of throwing me. And I'm getting multiple kinds of flashes. But this, I think, is Navalny's state of being in the coma, but he has a form of an awareness. It's just kind of buried under that coma. And he's not able to express himself, what he's thinking, what he's feeling. But I am shown, because it is with this card of the Two of Swords, inner awareness. The focus is inward. The awareness is inward. And there is, for this time, a blocking out of external distraction events. So that totally explains that. Okay? The King of Pentacles and the Devil. I feel like this is the person, maybe besides Putin, if it's not just about Putin, because I also get this for Putin, the King of Pentacles, because he is all about money and power and the earthly domain, if you will. So it shows the devil, and it shows that this is his silencing with the devil card of Navalny for a while. This is rendering him ineffective, and quite possibly could, and I hope not, I hope that he's able to really fully recover. But I see that for now he's in a very deep state of an oppressive state, though, that he's been put under by the actions of, I believe, Putin, possibly through another male individual in tainting his tea with the poison, the kind of poison I've described it. It's kind of like an insecticide. Ugh. Anyway, so it looks like Navalny, for him, clearly, no matter what they want to say, he's been interfered with in a very evil manner to suppress him. This is an attack. It really needs to be condemned worldwide, you know? And so I believe it shows him gonna be out of action for a while. And I believe he's going to need the help of Lyubov Sobol to step in. I believe that if something happens to her, they do have other people. I believe they live with the knowledge, knowing that he can get to him. They are brought up with the understanding over there very well. And Alexei has very good knowledge that Putin has a long reach and is able to get to people. That is why worldwide we have got to stop this man. Not only for what he's doing and monkeying around, horribly destroying the stability of our nation, but also the very people that have been trying for years now to get him out of rule in Russia and the areas that Russia controls, the various other places, countries that exist that he has control of. Yes, he will remain sick for a while here. He's got a long road to toe with that poison. I think it may have been just a really serious dose. I'm getting that. And it's quite possible it was employed by two other people being involved. Maybe somebody to distract or to, be the middle person to getting that into the tea, because he got it at an airport. So they must have had somebody in place working, I would think, at the place that he went to get that tea. That must have been fast, because I'm sure he is very careful about what he ingests, where. This must have been really, really, like I'm saying, they must have had somebody planted there to do this to him. And I get that there were two people involved two goons involved for Putin doing this. I hope that this Eight of Wands connected to that Four of Swords is him getting rested and improving. But I feel, regardless, this means it's a very serious recovery. It's going to take a lot more effort, to help him. But I think he may recover here with that Ace of Swords when we read vertically with that Eight of Wands. There's more activity coming up here that is clarifying, such as, I think, Lubyov coming forward and saying that information coming forth to say that she is going to take over, if you will, in the interim for Alexei. I just worry for her, frankly, as well. Because he's going to need help. And I think he will go to other places, maybe within Germany, maybe even a place without another place within Europe to heal. But he's going to need help outside of Russia to be treated, I believe, here with that card of the Four of Swords and that Three of Pentacles to regain his health. There will be also, I think, more clarity on what took place in his poisoning, right? And I think there's other activity globally that comes about. People haven't said a lot so far either, but I think Navalny will get the assistance of the world, except for, of course, probably Trump, to condemn and I hope take out sanctions, do something to affect Putin for what he did to Navalny. There needs to be an action taken against him. So I feel like this is Navalny. I feel like this is more of him maybe recovering, I'm hoping, and seeking to continue his political, legal activism, because, as I said, he's significant because he has actually been able to expose powerfully in a way that the people hadn't seen before. He was able to use drones to go over oligarchs' properties and show their mansions that have been built. Well, let's just put it this way. With their ill-gotten gains. And he's been able to show people like Putin and others that have, with how they're living, that he's been able to expose that they're lying, that they're not being truthful. And this has helped people to come to understand more among them. He does have support, Putin, but there's more people that have grown outraged. And this is significant because this is what is going to turn Russia eventually to get rid of Putin. And we're starting to see that groundswell for Navalny. The work he's done is really tremendous. I believe this is the further activity of Putin and his cronies to try to suppress those that dissent with Navalny, that support him, that help him. They will be quickly acting back. This is going to heat up between Team Navalny, if you will, and dissent, because it's not just Navalny, it's many other people. It's Lyubov, Sobol, and we need to become more aware in addition to our own situation. And especially because Putin is the one responsible for the mess we have. Trump is using Putin's playbook. Now, the end result is I do see there is a loss here. There is grieving, there is mourning with this opposition, this devilment, this oppression. So I feel like they pay a significant price. I feel like there could be things that Navalny does not regain. Not to say that he won't survive. I'm not getting death. But I feel that there is a significant impact that is harmful and that causes, I think, Navalny to really have, to acknowledge serious loss. But not loss completely. Not loss. It's just what he's done is affecting Navalny. It's affecting him emotionally. And he has to process that because he could come out with some permanent type of damage or issues that he's going to have to manage. That's my feeling. And this has made him extremely ill. Extremely ill. Okay. Communication. The importance to him is that the communication continue to focus and expose, especially the real estate, the actions that they've taken to build places that are extravagant. I'm just feeling that with that Page of Swords. But it's to expose the lies, to expose them for how they live, so that the people of Russia understand they are not living, and I think most people understand this, that they do not live, people like Putin and his associates and cronies do not live under the same situation. They have a very nice setup for themselves as opposed to the people. And I think he's going to continue that exposure work is what he wants to have continue. The Two of Wands comes in. I think he really wants to get this conveyed in other ways of communication so that people outside of Russia as well know. So I feel like this has to do with translation, language, something. I think we can look to start to receive from more coverage on in globally, different languages, other people paying attention to what's going on and bringing it to a means that we are informed and understand. Because he's really been doing this on his own without support from other, let's say, nations' involvement, and he needs to be supported. We need to be throwing our support and our help behind Navalny and the people that work with him to sort out Putin. Now, with Trump in place in this GOP that is absolutely complicit, that is difficult to do, and that is why during this election process, I think at the same time that we are looking at what we can do, we need to also look at Putin, what's happening to the people that stand up to him, and understand their tactics, because he's the next person after Don that we need to go for once we get our nation back. And it's going to be a very, I have to say, as we're already seeing, unfortunately, violent, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening. But we must try to go out there and peacefully demonstrate, continue that, and people have to be careful because there's crazy stuff going on. I do believe that Trump is planting people to cause more violence and this sort of thing. So on Navalny, and just to recap, I see him having a long-term recovery that's going to be necessary. And people will step up that are part of his support to carry on the exposure of Putin and his cronies to the world, but especially to more and more of the Russian populace, because that's a large collection of basically, other different nations of people. So that this work continues. And I believe Alexei will continue in whatever capacity he can. I'm not getting cards of his passing, but I do feel his recovery is slow, takes a long time, and there are things he may not get back. There may be things that, unfortunately for Navalny, that that he has to deal with, that he has to process, that he has to learn how to manage. I do think that there is a lasting impact from this toxin. But I think, as well, just to wrap up, that they are going to figure out a means to continue to oppose Putin in meaningful ways that have impact. But we're going to see a real push back from Putin as well. Just like we're seeing with Trump here, with the violence in Portland, what he's doing to stir up chaos by going places that nobody wants him to go. He's going to do more of that so that he can sow chaos. And Alexei, he's going to continue to do what he can to expose Putin, no matter how ill or whatever he's got left. And the people will help him where his limits are, to step up and create a radical change. And I think, really do, that they're going to bring a light to some of the more inner dirty work that Putin's been doing in Russia. And that's why America needs to pay attention to what they're doing to Navalny, what they've done to others, and not only our own political situation. Our own political situation is largely because of Putin, if not just as equally more so. Okay? Not only did Don do this, but he was only able to do it because of Putin. And here's the one guy that we need to be throwing our support behind, and the people that support him, to get to deal with Putin, enable them to handle him. Navalny, this is the only area that I worry, and that if this is towards him, this could be another devastating, sneaky thing that they do to attack. Or this could be something that Navalny and his crew are able to do. I'm not quite sure how to put this one in text. But they are long suffering to try to expose Putin. And Navalny will endure up until he can no longer, to expose the secrets, to pull back the veil on Putin's activities. So that is my reading for Navalny. I'm going to do a separate reading on Lubov, because I think her work, this would just go on to too long of a video. So he looks like he's going to be sick for a while, and will need Lubov's to step up, and she will. And I think that Navalny will struggle to recuperate. I do see him struggling to recuperate. But I do feel, on some level, some way, he is going to continue in whatever way he can to bring Putin down, to expose to the world the suppression that Putin does and hides. Putin is another fraud. And that's why he, like Trump, used these tactics. So let's send Alexei Navalny our best and support those who are trying to get rid of Putin. And I thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.